All right, guys. Welcome, welcome. On the path to $1 million. Happy Monday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Much appreciated. My name's Odum, if you're new here, and we run Pixel, and we're trying to build ourselves a company which is going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. And over the past couple of years, we've switched over our revenue model a little bit to go from building websites for clients, which we still do have, but that's another thing, to switching over to doing a podcast studio and having podcast services available for clients or for future clients. And I thought what we'd do today is go over, since we kind of just started our podcast, our personal podcast, and I started doing some stuff for clips and shorts and all that kind of stuff. I figured today would be a good day to just have a first overall look at our analytics and kind of see where we can improve and how things have been going. And just to, of course, to keep us pointing towards, the North Star and making sure we're headed in the right direction. Rolando, how's it going, man? Welcome, welcome. Hope you had a great weekend. How's my week? It was pretty good. Really busy. Just work. I don't know, just working, but having a blast doing it anyways. So, but pretty good. Kevin, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you here. Right. Okay. So I guess what I could do, well, Rolando, just since you're asking kind of what we've been up to this past week. So I was incorporating all of your ideas about just the Pixel website. So I figured we just go over this here real quick and take a look at the new website, So I totally condensed this website into something much, much smaller and simpler. It's basically 2 pages now. And of course, this is the website for Pixel, which is a place where you can come to me and we will record and edit your podcast for you, do a video podcast. So I simplified it quite considerably. Put a looping video here on the homepage. Kind of a 3-step process here of what it is that you can do. And I really tried to simplify the language as well. And I put it through this grader reading report. So it's like all at like a 3rd grade reading level. So very, very short, quick sentences to the point. Adding in some icons, as you guys were mentioning as well too, to make it a little bit more dynamic. And added this image gallery to make it kind of more full screen on here. So very, very simple website, to the point. And what I've done too is, again, there's 2 pages. There's the home page now, and then there's just the pricing page. And what I've done is I simplified it super simple, because before it was like so many different options, book for 2 hours, 3, 4, like it was just ridiculous. And now I have it as just literally one product. So if you want to come into the studio, you get 3 hours of record time. Someone's going to be on site, 3 camera edit, intro, outro, all that kind of stuff. So just whatever, the full list of features, $500 per episode, flat fee. That's what you get. Pretty low pricing, I think, because I think the amount of time that it will take would be like at least 5 hours per episode. But hopefully I could develop my skills and whatever, so it could be faster than that. So $500 I think is a pretty good deal for clients, but we'll have to see how things go. So that's it. And then the frequently asked questions and just a different gallery here at the bottom. So hopefully it's streamlined. Love to know what you guys think about it. So yeah, like I said, Kevin, Rolando, I just was incorporating kind of all the ideas that you guys sent me over as we discussed this last week, I guess. So yeah, this is it. This is what we have. So that's it. So it's going to be interesting in order to, like, the one thing that I have been working on, I've started working on, is reaching out to people to become guests or to be guests on the podcast. And I think I'm going to have to figure out what's going to be the approach of the content that I'm going to create. If it's going to be geared more towards teaching people how to do podcasting kind of stuff and talking about the stuff that I'm learning about running a podcast, versus trying to get people to want to be on the podcast. I think it's going to be like 2 separate things where I'm just going to have to keep reaching out individually to people and seeing how it goes. Kevin, looks very clean. Maybe it's the size of your screen, but could the hero video be taller, like 80? Yeah, it does depend. I think the way that the screen is that it is a 4K screen, so it does look maybe a little bit more. But I was playing around with it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it could be. I think that's just kind of like, I think it's really nitpicking. I think it's kind of gets really kind of personal, but the idea is I wanted to get people to get more to the content faster. So this whole create a podcast you can be proud of. Oh, sorry, you can't even see what I'm pointing at. So having that maybe a little bit more front and center so people can see that. So I don't know. I guess it's something that we could definitely A/B test and play around with. But the whole thing of making it like 80% the vertical height so it could adapt. Yeah, I like that. And I used to do that before in the past, but I don't know. I was just trying something different. we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, thank you. I appreciate that. Pixel School. Yeah, there's definitely lots of things that I was thinking about in terms of down the line, like a year from now, we grow the podcast really big. I get a lot better at running podcasts. I run podcasts for other people, understand the whole processes and the tools that go from going from A to Z, and then putting all that information into Pixel School or something like that. So I think that's definitely something to consider going forward. And it's definitely in my mind of what we can do to monetize this stuff in the future for sure. 100%. 50 VH right now, it's just set to a specific, it's just whatever this content is, it's set to that height. So there's no 50 VH or anything like that in terms of how high this thing is. It's just, it is kind of what it is. And this image or this video here that's looping, I made that a 21:9 aspect ratio. So, you know, like, I guess, I mean, we could, if we, you know, that's kind of around the aspect ratio right here of what it looks like. So yeah, so that's that. Okay. So yeah, so I want to go a little bit into the analytics, because this is where I really don't know. And this is where I think we're really going to have to learn how to optimize everything for YouTube. So we have, I don't know how I can do this. We'll start with two discussion points here. So I have two main channels for the podcast. So not this channel. This channel that you're watching this video on right now, this is at Odum. So this is a completely separate channel. So I have two for the podcast. There's this unconventional mindset clips here. Let me just zoom in a little bit so maybe this will be easier to see. So there's this channel here, and where I just started this last week, even just on the 20th, to start publishing content. So that was just on Thursday. And then there's the other channel, which is the actual, let me see if I could probably just bring it up here. The unconventional mindset. This is the actual podcast right there. So we'll take a look at those. Actually, maybe we'll take a look at these stats here. So first, Kevin, have I set any expectations for my guests? So no, that's a really good question. And I haven't as of yet, because I don't know what they are, because we're still kind of playing around with what type of, like, I don't know what the numbers are going to settle up to be, at least here initially. And let's be honest, they're not going to be very big. So it's not something that I want to put front and center in terms of, hey, this is how much reach you're going to get. So like, I've been reaching out to people so far this week, and I haven't heard anything from anybody new that I've reached out to, because they were kind of bigger people and there wasn't anything that I could give them in terms of numbers. Maybe I should, I don't know. But I think what my strategy is going to be going forward here for the next week or two is to look for people that are definitely more small time, that don't have a large social media following or presence, that probably would be happy with almost any kind of exposure and any kind of content they could get for themselves. Like, I'll give them, you know, the shorts or whatever videos that I create from the podcast. So I think those are the people I'm going to try to target. And once I get probably 10 episodes, I think that makes sense to start putting together some type of media package to let people kind of know what the exposure is going to be like. Say, hey, there's this many subscribers, we kind of get this many downloads or views or what have you, right? So, because right now it's kind of small. So let's take a look at some of this data, and then maybe you guys can tell me what makes the most sense in terms of if we should start putting anything together right now. Okay, so let's go to the analytics here. So, I mean, we just started posting here on, I guess, on the 4th. And, like, I'm pretty happy with how it is so far, to be honest, because we got 41.5 hours of watch time. And we're pulling in some decent views. So all the way from 61 to 7. So I need to really help. I need to figure out how to get Charlene's video a little bit more promotion. But these are the 3 that launched initially, and then there was this one over here. start with professional so you can grow accountants, lawyers, developers, people who want to go and promote themselves for free. Yeah, that's kind of exactly what I'm saying, but I think you just said it a little bit more eloquently than I have. Look for those types of people, and there's people that I've been in touch with. I'm trying to get marketers and web designers on here for the show because I know you guys are going to be interested in those conversations, because I think we can have some great conversations of how those guys are going out and getting their clients and how they're doing their work. But yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. Sorry, whatever that term is. You nailed it, that those types of people I think are going to be really, really good. And those people I think are pretty, they'll have a lot of good value for what you guys are looking for in terms of what this whole channel or what this live stream is about, right? How to build a business. So, because getting clients is getting clients kind of almost no matter what niche you're in, right? So yeah, okay. So anyways, so looking at our data here, I don't know let's see if we can dive in here. Let's go. And this one has the highest view duration. So let's go in to look at this. So, and there's one thing too I've noticed with YouTube, and I was listening to some videos about this, and we'll see this really, it'll be really pronounced when we switch to the clips channel, of how YouTube, they'll start to promote and show your video. Then it gets to a certain point where it'll just stop. It just doesn't promote or show your video to anybody. So like the views literally just go off of a cliff. So it's, it's very interesting. So the reason for me is, like, I'm just forgetting about the fact that there's possibility of shadow banning. There's no way I'm shadow banned. I'm not talking about anything political or anything crazy. So I don't think there's any worry of that. But I think there's a thing where YouTube will get a sense for your video, put it out to a few people, and if they don't get the results that they're looking for, they'll just stop showing it because the video's quality is not there. And then so I'm going in with the frame of mind that I need to figure out how to make my videos better so that YouTube will do a better job or will want to push that video to people, right? So find a nutritionist and a physical trainer that attracts a lot of audiences right now. So I've actually reached out to somebody that is a nutritionist. So I'm hoping I can hear back from her because she's done some really, really awesome stuff here locally. So, we'll see what happens, right? Actually, I haven't checked because I think I reached out to her via LinkedIn. So I think I need to check my LinkedIn. Anyways, so yeah, I'm going to have to make a spreadsheet. I'm going to make a spreadsheet because I have the data of who I've been contacting and what have you, and how I've been contacting and seeing what the success rate is. So that being said, Rolando, I think you're going to think this is super cool because I actually have someone that has booked a time to come into the studio to record, and they're an actual politician and they're sitting member of our provincial political cabinet or whatever. So I'm super, super pumped about having a conversation with this person because obviously they're into politics, they know the local community, and they're super into business. So I think it's going to be like an awesome show. I can't wait for that one. So that's really cool. And like I said, or did I say this? Anyways, I have 3 people that have booked stuff or are wanting to book and come on the show, but they're not here until the spring. So that's kind of a little bit unfortunate for me right now. Anyways, so we got some cool stuff that is in the pipeline. So I'm super pumped about that. And an immigration lawyer. With all the migrants leaving the U.S., it's going to attract a lot of views. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I have to think about how that could make sense for the type of viewers in the audience that I'm trying to attract, at least right now in the beginning, to kind of keep it at the business aspect. But I guess we could almost talk about how their business is going from the work that they're doing based on what's happening. And I don't know what the immigration is like here in Canada. If people are coming into Canada or coming out to Canada, I have no idea. I'm kind of just in politics, I'm just like keeping my head down and just doing my own work to try to make myself just financially independent and not having to worry about what the governments are doing. Anyways. So, but that's interesting. An immigration lawyer. I don't know. Yeah. I do know a lawyer. Do I know more than one? I know one lawyer for sure. I wonder. It's a contract lawyer. I wonder if he'd be a good fit for this show. I don't know. We'll find out. Business for migrants. How to set up a business. Oh, that's a really good point, actually. That's a really good angle is if somebody is just coming into Canada, at least we'll probably talk about Canada and what they can do to set up their business in Canada. I like those kind of more actionable type of like episodes where you could really learn a lot of information from how to get from, like how to start at a specific point. Like you just said, how to establish a business in, the city or the province or what have you. So that's pretty cool. All right. If you know anybody in town, I mean, that's for me to check out. I'm sure I can find some people in town. Okay. So the thing with the data with YouTube analytics is I think it's going to take like 28 days, or maybe it needs more views to get a more accurate representation of what's going on. Because I'm looking at this video and I'm looking at the retention. It doesn't show not enough recent videos of similar lengths to calculate the typical retention. Yeah, so it'd be nice to compare it to what's going on in average, so I could be like above average, but I don't know. But I feel like from this, it's actually not too bad, because I mean, obviously you're going to have that steep decline. You want to have your retention curve be as flat as possible, basically, right? Some people watching it from start to finish. You generally notice that you want to stay away from that huge dip, which I have seen in some videos. So we'll take a look at that as well. And those ones typically is a viewer logs in or hits the video, watches it for a second or two, says this isn't for me, and then clicks off, right? So most Mexican migrants in Canada are professionals, at least those I know. They have MBAs or at least a master's degree. Yeah, so that's almost like a very niche kind of audience of people that are professionals that are moving in from Mexico or other places into Canada. So I think that's a really good point. So I'll see if I can find anybody. I mean, if you know anybody that has immigrated into Canada and was out east here with a lawyer, definitely do let me know. But let me write this down here. Okay, all right, wrote that down. So we'll see what we can do. See who we can get on the show. Okay, so I think because if we look at reach, yeah, here's where we need to see. Okay, so what I found out from my preliminary research, and I probably should put this in some type of PDF or something, so then at least I'll have something maybe to share people and kind of see what I'm going with, so we can look at our data like on a week by week basis. Is if you get anything more than like a 5 or 6% click-through rate, that's like really, really good. So, and for this click-through rate, 9.4%, it seems to me like that is pretty high. And then from 22 impressions, the average duration is 44 minutes. That to me, these numbers, at least on this video, seem really, really high and really, really good. So I feel happy about that. But again, YouTube is not showing the video. It doesn't look like to people. Like if you look at impressions, yeah, like it's not like that's it. It's just flatlined here at 240. Like it's not recommending the video to anybody, like at all, right? Like 233 impressions. Like, nope, not showing it to anybody. So why is that? Is it not have enough a click-through rate? That's a 9.4% click-through rate. That's pretty high. So I don't know. We're going to have to figure out what's going on and how we can fix that. Can engagement, does it need to have more engagement? I don't know. We have the audience. Yeah, we don't have not enough data, so we can't really see much here. Like not subscribed, the region. Yeah, so I don't know what to make of this data just quite yet. So if we go take a look at another video here. So this one's been viewed 61 times. This is the highest viewed one. And again, so this is where this is what I don't like. We have basically people click and then there's a sharp decline here at basically like the 55-second mark, right? And then it's just straight down. So here we want to see if we can flatten out that retention. And I think we talked about this before. I know I definitely talked about this with my wife, Andrea. And if you guys have seen Diary of the CEO, and if you look at his videos and his podcast, he'll do this 30-second, 60-minute, highly edited, video clip montage of the podcast, doing like this dramatic sound effects and text and teasers and all that kind of stuff to, I guess, to hook you into the episode. And then he goes into the episode. And from what she was saying, she's like, I hate that, blah, 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 blah. And I get that, but it also makes you watch it and makes you more interested in saying like, okay, well, they're going to talk about XYZ. I really want to know. So I'm going to pay attention and watch. So I think it helps for viewers that may not know who you are. That, yeah, I don't know. I don't see anybody looking at that being like, oh, I'm going to click off because I don't like that. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe because we haven't reached that date on the calendar yet. Are you talking about in terms of statistics? Like, I don't think it goes on anything into, like, it goes up to like the date. Like, here's Monday, February 24th. I think the analytics panel, what it does. Oh, you think you made that comment to me by email? Yeah. There was a few comments and a few people I was talking to about this. And it was probably something that I should try. And then we'll experiment, right? I mean, that's the whole point, right? Even though my brand and how I like to do things, I like to just get into the discussion. But I think there's even better ways that I could get into the discussion as well, too. Whether it's how to introduce the guest, lower thirds, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, and it says typical retention. So I don't know. I need to get more data and more information. But again, if we look at the reach here, so 5.2% click-through rate. Yeah, maybe need a higher click-through rate here as well too. And I know a bunch of people came in through Facebook because I think she posted it on her Facebook channel as well too. And I think that's one thing that I need to do a better job of as well is when a episode is going live, number one, I give them some clips that they can use on their social media, but also give them ways of how they could share that video to their audience. I don't know if that's a little bit too cheesy to say like, hey, why don't you share this on your LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever. So I don't know if that's for them to do or for me to help them share. Like, I don't know. I don't know what works. I guess it won't be that big of a deal to say like, hey, now our episode is live. Here's a few points. I'm thanking them again for being a guest and like, what now? Maybe that's an email that I could send out and make that into kind of like a template. So can I show the shorts of the analytics of the shorts? Yeah, we're going to get to that. So is there anything else that we need to get through for this? Again, same thing. It's just flatlining the engagement. Like they're not showing anything. Is that the engagement? That's different though. I think it's the reach. Yeah, this is where it's not being impressioned. YouTube is not serving it up anymore. So obviously there's something in the engagement that YouTube is like, nope, I'm not going to show this content to a wider audience for whatever reason, right? So, and that's what hopefully we can figure out. Maybe make a folder they can access that has the clips. Yeah, I have that in Dropbox already, so I put that in there. So the people that have been on there and the clips that I have made, they have access to. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, what else can we see here for the analytics? Like, it's not even showing the overall click-through rate. Oh yeah, here it is. I guess this is all of them, right? Yeah, so 6.9% click-through rate, an average of 20 minutes. Well, 17 and a half. Or not, sorry, not a half, not 50. Almost 18 minutes. I mean, that's pretty good. Like, I'm pretty happy with it, but of course the tail off just kind of sucks. But maybe there's other things that we're going to be able to do on social media to be able to link back to these episodes and, keep trying to generate traffic towards them. Okay, Rolando, I won't keep you waiting. Let's move over to the Clips account. So this Clips account has no subscribers, and because nobody knows about it, because I haven't told anybody about it, because I kind of want to see how it's going to go without any word of mouth and just seeing like what's going to happen and what I'm going to do. Okay, so what I've done for this Clips channel is I have, for all the videos, there's 13 videos. You guys can't see this because my face is in the way. Just move over there. So there's 13 videos. And what I've done is I think I scheduled. On the first day, I published 3 at once. And then I have an episode scheduled to go live at 7 a.m. every single day up until the 6th. So those are the amount of clips that I have from the podcast episodes. And whenever I see a dislike, I'm like, who is it? Who is the one that disliked my video? Well, I could see why they dislike it. But anyways, there's always going to be people that dislike your stuff. But I usually have a pretty good like to dislike ratio in all of my stuff. Anyways, so yeah, so those are the videos. And it's interesting too that this one, I think because AI is probably a popular term, people are searching for stuff and finding this out. Anyways, so and if we go to shorts again, it's kind of the same thing, except for this time what I'm doing is I'm scheduling, or I have scheduled an episode to publish. What day is it today? 3 a day. So one at like 7 a.m., one at 2 p.m. or 1 p.m., and another one at 7 p.m. So morning, afternoon, and then in the evening. So they're scheduled to automatically go. And so when I first published them on the 20th, and they were just getting views and things were kind of going up, I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty good. This might be a really good thing, because they kept on getting views and views in the platform. But then they just, like everything, it just hit this plateau and just kind of stopped being promoted. So it's very interesting. So let's dive into a couple shorts here. Brent, hello, W indeed. How's it going? Welcome. How's your weekend? Hopefully all was good. Okay, so as an example, let's go with this one here. Well, yeah, anyways. So, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to the analytics of this specific video. So here's the thing. And again, why is YouTube doing this? I don't know. Okay, so it gets published, I guess, at 2 o'clock on Thursday. So, and then I guess it gets quote unquote picked up. What is this? Like almost 2 hours or a full day later. And then it gets shown. And then like the views just like skyrocket from 2 p.m. to 12 a.m., whatever, for 12 hours. It starts showing the video and then it just stops. And then it's getting no views at all anymore. So, but here we go in terms of retention. Again, it's only a 50-second clip. So there's actually pretty good retention here for well, I guess it's 3 seconds. So maybe that's not good at all. And then it just slowly goes down. So yeah, how do we judge this? I don't know. I don't know how we judge this. So do you promote any actions in the clip? So that's something to learn, because absolutely 100% no. There's no promotion. There's no nothing. So, and it's definitely something that we need to do, because they're literally just like, well, can we even play it? Can I play this? I was thinking, like, is this going to be copyright? The idea of being kind and wanting to do nice things for others. And the one thing that I like to think about it is that it's almost creating value for other people. If you can do something in your life that is just giving value to somebody, that can fill you with a sense of purpose and satisfaction. And sorry to suffer. You got to suffer through this. Feel as if like I'm waking up in the morning, I'm doing something that's really good. I'm kind, improving. So blah blah blah. You're doing what you can to to be the best person that you can be, which I just love it.
Kumbaya time.
Yeah. Combine the idea of being kind. So yeah, so there were just shorts taken. I didn't put anything like subscribe or call to action or anything like that. And in the description, I don't think, you can't have links here. So there's a link here and there's watchful stuff. So there's all of this. But that's it. Yeah. So there's nothing in here that's like, hey, this is from the unconventional mindset or nothing like that. So could I do better on that? 100% I could. But I just wanted to get stuff out there to just kind of see what I'm working with here. So Brent, basically worked all weekend, so could have been better. Unless you love working, unless you're like me. I was working all weekend as well too. I was loving it, but yeah, sometimes working all the time is just a little annoying. So, but anyways, but you did work, so hopefully, it helps you get more towards that money, right? So are you posting on TikTok, Instagram Reels, or just YouTube for now? So right now it's just YouTube, and for a couple reasons, not a couple reasons, for the main reason that I just want to see if I can figure out YouTube for now and like kind of let's just get learning one platform. And with TikTok and Instagram, because I haven't used this content on there yet, if I need to make or want to make any modifications, I can make modifications and post that on there as well too. Because I don't want to post just the same stuff on there as well. Anyways, I don't know. Yeah, so just YouTube for now. I could just post them up on TikTok or Instagram, but I just wanted to focus on one thing for now. Is that the right thing to do? I don't know. But we'll see. What do the comments say? So I haven't had very many comments on, where do I go back? On many of the, on the reels. Can I go comments? I think there was like one or two more, but yeah. What is this video? Yeah, be kind. Oh yeah. Someone's like, well, what if it doesn't, you know? Like sometimes I try to do whatever. Well, you could read it here. You could be resentful or whatever. And then I just responded, right? So I think this was like an actual thoughtful comment, you know? So, you know, just responded, whatever. So I thought there was another comment in some, maybe because I'm just looking at the one. I don't know if I'm just looking at the one. Oh yeah, there's more comments here. Oh no, there's just one other comment. I think somebody here just said like, thanks. And I said, you're welcome. So nothing crazy. So yeah, that's it for the comments, but we're getting good engagement. There's not one dislike here. So this one here has the best ratio of likes to views. I think that's pretty high, like 10 likes over 500 views. I think that's pretty good. That's like 2 per 100. I think that's pretty good. But again, if I look at this, which is an episode, I think there's this episode here, or this episode, this video. So this thing here, and maybe this is me being crazy. So yeah, and how you doing? Welcome, welcome. How's your weekend? Hopefully all is good. Good to see you here. Maybe you could help me out with these analytics here and interpreting these results. Okay, so this video, it's only 19 seconds long, or sorry, it's 16 seconds long, but the average video duration is 19 seconds. So what that's telling me, and we have 120% viewed, average percent viewed, is that the episodes or the videos play, and then when they're done, they just loop back. So that means it's telling me a lot of people are listening to it all the way through to the end. And if I look at the retention here, it's already upward. It's 82% retention. So it's like 82% of the people have watched the whole thing. So to me, that seems really, really good. But then again, then there's this swiped away, 30% viewed. Maybe this ratio needs to be better. I don't know. If you look at engagement, yeah, it's not showing what the typical retention is. I need to figure this out or be able to compare this against an average. Because again, this is engagement. We don't want engagement. We want reach. So it starts showing a whole bunch of stuff, and then it's like it gets to 500 views, and then that's it. YouTube does not send it out to anybody else ever. So how do we, like, what do we do? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good too, but why is it that YouTube has basically stopped showing my videos to people? So that's what I don't know. Anyway, so that's, if we go to, I don't know, if we go to all the analytics in general, yeah, so this was before, it was getting like, I was getting like 100 or 200 views kind of per hour. And now it's dropped down to like 4, 5, 6, 20, 16. So it's gotten really, really low. So it's just kind of trickling out there, as it was over this weekend. I wonder if I can I see? Let's go to advanced mode maybe. Okay, let's go impressions. So this is interesting. Okay. So maybe this line is pretty flat. It's tough to tell. But here we have, this one here seems to be the only one that's getting impressions, because I think this is, people are searching for this. And this is the difference between using Google and ChatGPT. And this is a clip of the video. That's just an actual video. It's not a YouTube short. So I don't know if that maybe shows up more in search results as opposed to YouTube Shorts showing up in shorts or showing up in search results. 30% viewed is not quite bad because YouTube pushes videos to random viewers, and those 30% are your target audience, hopefully anyways. But yeah, whether those things are good or bad, I don't know. But here's something that might be telling. This might be bad. This could be where we're running into trouble. I don't know. Is we have views here, and what's this percentage? Maybe this is percentage completed. I don't know. But here we have impressions. So I think these are impressions. How many times your thumbnail were shown to viewers, including only impressions on YouTube. So I think this is when you log into your YouTube homepage that you see, like, there's a row, I think, of YouTube Shorts, right? So I think that's an impression. And then this would be the click-through rate. So these click-through rates are abysmal, I think, according to YouTube. Because again, for me, from what I know, for at least for regular YouTube videos, you want 5% or higher. If you're getting 6, 7, 8, that's like majestic. From some of these guys I was watching that do podcast like clips, and they do all that kind of stuff for like these big podcasters, they're talking about getting 5%, 6% for YouTubers that get millions of views on their videos. That's what their click-through rate was. So, you know, if I'm getting that same percentage, I'm happy, but then I'm also wondering why my videos aren't going through the ceiling. It could just be that YouTube is a long game, right? Like they need to know my channel, more of what's going on before they start showing it up to more and more people. But I don't know about that, because you see these channels that they post one video and the video itself goes viral. Probably, well, obviously because the video itself is really good. Like there's just something about it that really, really resonates and clicks with people. And I think maybe if YouTube sees that people are sharing, that's probably the biggest thing. If someone takes one of my videos or a video and literally like emails it or shares it, whatever, however people share videos to other people, and YouTube sees that, I would bet that that's probably the biggest indicator of YouTube going to push it to other people. Saying it's one thing for individuals to watch it and be like, yeah, okay, I liked it, sure. But to get an even more reach, it's to have a video that is shareable and that they want other people to watch it, right? So they could all, you know, share in that experience. You get like, you guys know what it's like. There's a really amazing video. You're like, I got to share this with, you know, whoever, right? So I think we need to figure out how we can get to that point. I think that's really hard though with a podcast, right? It's not like showing somebody fall down the stairs and hurting themselves and you have to email someone and say, hey, look at this idiot. Yes, shares count most. They like it because you are bringing more users to the platform. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense to me that would be the most important thing is getting shares. And how do they count that? Is it just, I guess there is a YouTube share button that people can have. I don't know if there's, yeah, I don't know if you just like, if you just email someone a link. Yeah, I don't know if that works or whatever, but I don't know. I don't share things in like a YouTube app or anything like that, so I wouldn't know. Rolando, is there anything else that you want to see in this analytics like dashboard here? I wish secondary. What could I look at? Impressions, click-through rate. Okay. Oh, that's just number of impressions and what the click-through rate is. Okay. What is more? I thought there was a way to be able to see how things are compared to like just YouTube average in general. We need YouTube DMs. Do they not? Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing like that, I guess, in YouTube, eh? Like if you want to talk to somebody, what do you do if you want to get in touch with somebody? I think you just go on their channel and then you just hit like contact, and then there's an email or whatever to contact that person, or at least whatever email that person has put in their profile. So yeah, I guess they don't have anything like that, eh? It'd probably be a pretty interesting feature. But I know for me, I definitely do not use YouTube as I use like Instagram or whatever, because for me, YouTube is like basically an educational knowledge place where I just type in something I want to learn. That's like all, and obviously to entertain, but mostly just for education. That's bad for them, driving people away from YouTube. So what did I say about that's bad for them? Oh, like if there was a direct message or something like that, that would be bad for YouTube. I guess that would make sense. But even if sending somebody an email is bad for them as well, because you're going out of YouTube and you're kind of connecting on a different platform, whether it's just email or whatever. Okay, so yeah, what can we look here? So audience, I don't think we need to worry about audience so much right now. Mostly male. Content. These are just the shorts. Okay, how viewers finding? All right, 46% viewed. Good, bad? I guess good. Not too bad. Let's just see more. Oh, you can see which one's swiped versus swiped away. So I guess I would say like, oh well, this one's probably the worst perform. No. Yeah, but see, this one has a highest viewed or lowest viewed versus swiped away percentage, but yet this is the one that has like a really high performing, because it was at like 120%. Yeah, like percent viewed. I don't know. I don't understand how to make sense of these yet. And these are pretty high as well too. Shown in feed. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like as in sharing a short with someone like you do on TikTok. People share TikTok with friends through TikTok DMs. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I guess there's nothing like that. Oh, okay, so then you're not driving them away from YouTube at all. I guess if it was something like that, right? I think I see what you're saying. Yeah. So it'd be the opposite. Yeah, of course, because you're just engaging them, or like you're engaging with your friends and then you're sharing more content within the app itself, so it keeps them in longer. So yeah, it'd be basically the opposite. Yeah, that makes sense. That being said, though, I don't use TikTok at all in any way whatsoever. So I don't know like how people are using it. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to experiment with YouTube Shorts first and just kind of see what's going on before I try to be good at all of the platforms. Like I know, Gary Vee and everybody's like, oh, just post everywhere. It's like, I get it, but I don't want to post. I want to just figure out some stuff too, because I would rather spend my time, at least if I could just learn YouTube Shorts and start getting, tens of thousands or whatever views per clip, whatever the case may be. That'll be a lot better than staying at 500 views and just getting a couple hundred on TikTok and whatever, and not really gaining any traction. You know what I'm saying? So, Stoyan saying to Brent, yeah, I understood. I was just saying that's bad for YouTube that they haven't made DMs yet. Yeah. No, that I think I was getting your point there as well too, is that they don't have a way to interact with people through the application itself, which I guess would be a really good thing. Yeah. Sorry, no, I think we're all on the same page here. Cool. Right on. Yeah, all good. And I probably could have been saying some bad stuff too. So I'm definitely new to all this stuff as well. So, but what else could we do? I thought I saw somewhere. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's on the mobile app, because I thought I saw somewhere where I was able to look at how my video compared to, my phone's not here. How my video compared to other videos or the industry average. And it must have been on mobile. Okay, so these are the stats here, guys. And again, the views, they peaked on this day, and then they just like, okay, well, we're not going to show your stuff to people anymore. So, I don't know. We're just going to keep posting, because all this content here, if we go to the shorts, if we go back, yeah, so, we got... this one published this morning, this one this afternoon, this one's coming tonight. So these ones, they're going to keep coming, and we're going to see what happens. But it's like, again, they all get to like 500 and then they just stop. So maybe these ones, because it's only been not even 24 hours, it seems like maybe it takes 24 hours for YouTube to like, okay, I'm going to show this to people. Maybe it'll just, maybe it just takes time. 100%. Keep posting, mostly volume thing, especially at the beginning. Yeah. And just having YouTube know that, that I'm just going to be consistent, and that people are going to be consistently liking them, at least even, getting more good likes to dislike ratio. I think that's going to be a good thing. We'll just keep posting and we'll keep seeing. Hopefully we'll see where we are next week. Hopefully then that'll be a good, a better indication, and maybe things could grow a little bit more. And we'll see if these ones start to pick up again. Maybe I'll think of, or keeping an eye. Well, I guess everything's at like 500. So if these ones here get more than, start climbing up to 500, 600 or whatever, then I can see that it's starting to get promoted again through the system. So that would be kind of, that'll be interesting to see. Yeah. So there was a comment here as well too. Just about Google Ads as well. Yeah. And comments are good engagement as well too. So I think YouTube likes comments, as long as they're positive comments and not negative. Although how do they do that? Oh, I'm sure they have some AI tool, obviously, to figure out if a comment is positive or not. Yeah. What else is there to look at? I guess we could, something I haven't done. I haven't looked at like Apple's data as well. And maybe we could look at Spotify's data, because all these episodes are on Spotify and Apple as well. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to bring this up here. Apple Podcast. Where do I find that? Apple Podcast Analytics. Probably in here. Oh, I got to sign in. So I think the one conclusion I could probably make is now is not a good time to quit. I think we'll keep going and we'll see what happens. Right. Oh. Is that my phone over there? Okay, hang on a second. All right. Got a two-factor authenticate here. 485. Okay. So I think we're here. All right. So this is Apple's dashboard. I don't know this well at all. It just says processing requests. I don't think I've done anything. But it shows 10 plays and just like this little dot here. So, interesting. Okay. So it looks like no one has played anything on Apple, which I guess is not surprising. I don't think Apple has any kind of discoverability at all. You have to actually go in there and like find it, I would imagine. So, okay. So that's that. If we go into Spotify, we'll look at this here where 2 starts, 2 streams, 2 followers. So I guess somebody, does it show here if there's anybody following? Yeah. So we have 1 follower on Apple and 2 followers on Spotify, and impressions. Yeah. And I don't think Spotify does anything as well too. Maybe is there a slight for you kind of thing in Spotify? There might be. Not trying to be annoying here, but the Spotify link to the episode on your site of the last episode isn't working. Oh, that's not good. Let's figure that out right now. You're the follower on Spotify. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you. Well, there's 2 followers, so there's you and somebody else. So that's awesome. I appreciate that. And so yeah, appreciate following on Apple. I wonder if that's going to show up here. Probably not. I would imagine that would take a little bit, but maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. Cool. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. But yeah, let's try to fix this. You said on the Spotify link on the episode on your site. So that's on my actual site here. But the Spotify link on the episode. Okay. Which episode? Also, Spotify just allowed AI podcasts. What? AI podcasts. So podcasts that are just apps just done by AI? Voiced by 11 Labs. So is that, so you mean it's like AI generated podcasts? Yeah, that's interesting. The whole future of content is going to change rapidly in the next couple of years. It's something that I've been thinking about quite a bit, actually, and trying to figure out how, obviously myself and other people can defend themselves in a sense in order to be able to keep our livelihood or make a livelihood on YouTube and other platforms in the face of all the content that's going to come out that's AI generated, especially since, there's already so much coming out. There's going to be so much more. People are using AI to write their own scripts and all this kind of stuff too. But I think there's going to be a really good opportunity, I think anyways, to be able to stand out from the crowd and be able to differentiate yourself from all the AI people out there by putting out real, true, authentic type of content of just like being yourself and going out there and connecting with other humans. I don't know. Like who wants to connect with an AI? But I guess the trouble could be if you don't even know that you're actually engaging with an AI because it's so good, it just feels human. Yeah, so just AI voice, but human written. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. It's a tool. What if somebody that can't speak uses AI to be able to speak for them? That's a great use of that kind of tool. So, but it's funny too, because the way that I think about it, sorry, Brent, yeah, we're going to get to this in a second. We're going to fix this. But the way that I think about this is I like to do things because I want to learn how to do them and I want to get those skills, because the more skills you have, I love to stack skills and make myself as valuable as I possibly can to any employer or whatever it is that I'm doing. So by just using AI to do something because maybe you're not good at speaking in front of the camera or speaking on a microphone, yeah, you can do that for sure, but why not learn the skill? So then, if some people like your stuff and they're like, hey, why don't you come give a talk at my conference or whatever, give a keynote speech, but you can't because you haven't put forth the work and the practice to actually get good at the craft of, orally saying your stuff. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's fascinating. There's so much stuff that's going to be going on. Bagari, I think that's pronounced correctly. Hello, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. How you doing today? Yeah, I agree. They are going for quantity over quality, but yes, it's a great tool. Yeah, like everything's a tool, and it's how you use it, and they're fantastic tools for sure. But yeah, I think people individually maybe need to be careful about how they're using that tool and thinking long term as to what they want to do. I don't know, with their life, I guess. I don't know. Please, your English is very bad when you speak English. No problem at all. Any other language that I speak is pretty bad or non-existent. So all I do is speak English. So what language? I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, tu parles français. Okay, I think, yeah. I remember seeing you here before. I'm pretty sure. So if you type in French, I'll be able to read it. No problem. Hardly any problem. So I could definitely respond to anything that you say in French. But my French is very, very, very rusty, to say the least. But I understand it fine. Okay. What do we want to do here? So yeah, so Brent, you're saying this one here, so if I go listen to the episode, that takes us into here. And then if we click in here or here, sorry, let me go back to your comment. Yeah, the one at the top, optimizing for success. Okay, and Spotify. Like if I click Spotify, right, nothing's working at all. So that's probably going to be the same thing here. Oh, this one's working. Well, that's interesting. So why is that one working? Oh, there's probably something in here. Okay, so let's go into our site. Let's fix this. Let's fix this. Speaking of AI, yes, I'm working on AI agent chatbot platforms for websites. It's a lot harder than I expected it to be. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're just using like an API of another platform or whatever to just build up this agent. That's interesting. Yeah, I have no idea where to even start doing something like that. Did you expect it to be easy? I expect it to be hard, but yeah, maybe even harder than you even thought it was going to be. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Well, if you ever have any links to share, by all means, do share them. I'd love to check it out. But that's that's crazy. Yeah, it's a smooth promo. Let's just slide it in there. Okay. All right. Okay, so yeah, this link. Okay, let's go into, it's going to be where it's going to be into. Let's zoom this up a bit. Back to our good friend Webflow here. I think this is going to be a podcast template. So if we look in here, and obviously there's going to be a problem here with this one. Okay, there's no Spotify link. That's probably why it's not working. Okay, so how do we get the Spotify link? How do we get the Spotify link? Where did that come from? Oh, I can't remember now. Hang on. Let's go to... Oh, okay, let's just go to another one. And let me see. Yeah, go to Spotify. Yeah, I know it's got to be on Spotify somewhere for sure. I'm trying to think if it's Spotify. Oh, so I just had the whole link? I thought I did something a little bit different with that. I got the Buzzsprout code. All right. No, that's not what I want to open up. Let's go here. Okay. Oh, here we go. I think if we could just go here, we could probably just get it from here. Right. Share episode. It's probably this. So open Spotify. Okay, let's just, okay, get out of here. Let's go here. And this is so great with Webflow now that you can just publish an individual post without having to publish your site. I mean, not that it really matters, but it's pretty cool. All right. So now it should work. So let's go. Where do you want to go? Let's go back home. Let's go back here. And if we go to Spotify, there we go. Perfect. Looks good. Okay, so that works. All right. Okay. Let's hang on. Let's listen to this. It works something like this. Business owners upload knowledge about their business, frequently asked questions or pricing. Okay. Then configures a chatbot. They get an embed code, so business owners can just embed it in their website. Right, because you want something like if someone goes to my website, let me just see if I get this straight here. Well, hang on. Let's finish reading here and then Backend is quite complex because it creates flow to make it a lot cheaper. Point is to allow small businesses to have AI chatbots like corporations do. I'll get it for free to test. Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess what you're thinking is, as an example, we have my website right here. And, that's not what I wanted to do. Hang on a second. Oh, God. There we go. Let me just move my face here out of the way. So we have my website here. And then at the bottom corner here, there would be like that chatbot or that help thing. So somebody would click on it and they'd be like, hey, what's your question? And then they type in the question and then the chatbot would give them answers, but only based on the information that I, as a small business, have fed to the chatbot. So it would know how to answer it based on my website and my company and my policies, et cetera, et cetera. I would imagine that's what the tool would be. And I think that's kind of like, does, like, I guess Intercom does that kind of stuff too. So yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah. Because I imagine there's other platforms out there, but I guess this one would be, if I'm hearing this correctly, maybe more specifically tailored for small businesses that don't have the money to train like maybe more expensive AI or use another tool that is more pricey. That's interesting. That'd be pretty cool. Because I definitely love those tools, especially if you have a more complex sales cycle. And you could hit up people at different levels and like integrate that with your CRM if you're using something like that. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be a pretty cool tool. Anyways, yeah. I'd love to try that for free if you want, whenever it gets ready. That'd be awesome. We could test it out. Okay, so that's done. Here, that's fixed. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? As I was seeing that, let's go into this podcast collection and let's make some of this stuff required, because then it'll stop me from posting it, until I have it. But the problem, I think, there's an issue, I think. When you make something required, you can't even create the post without putting something in. So we don't want to put placeholders in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if, for example, like I know one week I might film 3 different podcasts and I might make these posts without posting them yet to, Spotify or what have you. Let's make them required for now, and then we'll see if that fits with my workflow in the future. Cancel that. Yeah, no, save that field. Because we're always going to have this stuff anyways, right? So we're going to need the Buzzsprout code. So that's required as well. Where is it? That field's required. Buzzsprout URL body. I can't even remember what that is. But if we have the code, we'll get that. Okay. So, that should hopefully, Brent, that'll avoid us having that problem in the future. All right, let's save this collection. I'm trying to think now. What is that Buzzsprout URL? Oh, right. Yeah, that's definitely required as well, too. Do not include the first dash and the .js in the URL. Right. Right. Because we need to upload it to Buzzsprout first, and then that gets sent like, yeah. Because I feel like I don't get these links until it's published. That's the problem. You have to actually publish, or no, do you have to publish it, or can you just schedule it? Yes. So in Buzzsprout, the way that it works, sorry guys, I'm totally just thinking out loud here. But the way this works, let me, can I log in here? Yeah, the way that this works is you upload an episode, and then when you upload an episode, I think you get like the episode URL or what have you, but until you actually publish it, it doesn't send it to Spotify or Apple or anywhere else because basically it's going like in all these directories except for iHeartRadio. I still have to get it listed there. And it doesn't get to these directories until like an hour or two or whatever, like after it's actually been published at that time. So I'm not going to be able to get those codes for Spotify or whatever until that is done. So, and by the time it's published, I would probably already want to get some of this stuff, like this chapters and all this kind of stuff, put into here. So I'm not doing it all like at the last minute. So it's probably not going to make sense for me to make all that stuff required. But we're going to see how it's going to play out. And we'll go from there. I'll have to have some procedures put in place to make sure that I don't forget to do all those things and make sure that all the links are working. So that's my bad. So I'll have to figure out how to do that. Actually, let's write it here. Links in collection. Okay, so where we're going from here, there's a few things that I do know I want to do. Okay, for this week. So number one, I want to reach out to probably at least like 50 people locally to ask them to be on the podcast. And I would love to get, I don't know what even a good success rate would be. Because so far have a success rate of 7 people. So I don't know if I hit out 50 people, like for every 10, I would like to have a 10% success rate. That might even be a little bit too high. Like 1 in 10 people ask. At least for the type of people that I'm looking, if they were bigger people, I think I would have like 1 in 50 maybe would say yes. But for smaller people, 1 in 10. So if I reach out to 50 people, maybe I can get 5 podcasts. That would be fantastic. So that's the goal this week, is to do that. So that's number one. Number two is I'm putting together a whole new framework for how I'm going to be doing more long form videos on this channel to promote, number one, the podcast itself, and number two, to promote the actual business of me doing podcasting for other people and helping them record their videos. So I'm still fleshing that out, but I guess we'll probably talk about that, I would imagine, next week, because I think what it's basically going to be is that every week I'm going to sit down and write a whole newsletter / essay or something that's going to be, I'm going to go pretty deep into a specific category, like learning how to ask better interview questions or how to ask better interview questions, blah, blah, in a podcast, whatever. And then write a whole essay on that and then use that for the newsletter and then take that and create a full like YouTube type video for that using that kind of that script. And then from that, cut up a bunch of pieces for social media content. And that's all going to be about like podcasting. And then that's going to help, hopefully, over time, establish me as someone that knows what they're doing, at least in terms of podcasting, at least right now in terms of the audio and video stuff I get nailed down. But then, of course, I'm learning about getting guests and talking to them, all that kind of stuff. So, but just talking about all the stuff that I'm doing. So I'm going to do that every week. And I'm hoping with every week, every article and newsletter that I write will be able to create me like a dozen or 2 different pieces of content for me to be able to use on, probably start off with, well, obviously YouTube. And then I think that's probably going to be how I'm going to use Instagram, is using that more as a tool to promote my businesses and my services as a podcaster, as opposed to using it to promote the actual podcast itself, right? So, because there's 2 different things here. There's the Unconventional Mindset as a podcast on its own, and then there's me as Pixel, as a person that's a podcaster that, you know, wants to teach other people and help other people start and launch their own podcasts. So tons of content that can be made through that. I have a whole list of backlogs of like 20 different topics that I can already start talking about, especially in terms of setting up a studio and all that kind of stuff. So that stuff I kind of have down. So, and then just talking about how I'm going to be planning on growing my podcast to where I want it to be in like 2 years time or whatever. So those are kind of the 2 main things that I'm going to be focused on this week. And of course, Monday, well, this whole week, we're going to see how things are going to go with the YouTube analytics, and hopefully we're going to get some growth on our YouTube shorts for promoting the podcast itself and getting views there. So yeah, we're just going to keep moving forward on this, guys. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep plugging away. We're going to keep reaching out to people every single day. And slowly but surely we're going to grow this thing. And honestly, if I'm going to say like my goal is definitely make this into like the number one podcast in Canada for sure. Like that's at a minimum what I want to be. And actually my first post, I guess I'll say this as a little bit of a tease, but my first post that I'm writing right now, I haven't nailed down the exact title, but it's something along the lines of, and I'm going to put it out there. It's like how I plan to be better. What is it exactly? I wrote it down. Hang on a second. I'll see if I can make sure I get this exactly right. Well, not exactly right because it's still a work in progress, but, right. Yeah. So how I plan to be better than 99% of podcasters in 2 years. So I'm thinking of this as like a Twitter post. So it'll be like that, how I plan to be better than 99% of all podcasters, and just list off like 5 things that I'm going to be doing, like studying human psychology and learning how to ask better questions, and whatever the things I'm going to be doing. And then of course, writing out the whole thing of like, these are all the things that I want to learn, that I'm learning, whatever. And that's kind of like the introduction into what it is that I'm doing. So I think my content is going to go back and forth between the things that I've learned and the things that I know that I can teach, and switching to the things that I'm working on, that I'm trying to get better at, because I know if I get better at these specific skills, that's going to help me have a better show and a better podcast. Yeah, full throttle. Yeah, 100% too. Yeah, like honestly, I see my vision as like, again, I love Stephen Bartlett, Diary of a CEO, Chris Williamson. I mean, obviously Joe Rogan is the biggest one of them all, right? But those 3 guys, Andrew Huberman, of course, has a good podcast. I mean, there's lots of great guys that have good stuff, but I'm looking at getting like, I want to be in the same, like mentioned in the same breath as those guys, right? Like that's my goal. So, we're just going to keep going till we get there. Have you thought about getting more into the thumbnails, more clickable, similar to what the Diary of CEO does? Yeah. What timing? Perfect timing. Yeah. So thumbnails. Yeah. Cause my thumbnails now, I mean, they're kind of nicely-ish designed, but yeah, I think they probably could be, better. And I think these are one of the things that, I'm going to be ending up talking about, and I'm going to be actually experimenting with. It's like, how do different thumbnails affect, the YouTube videos? I mean, there's a whole, even in Steven's, one of his episodes not too long ago, I think it was just like a couple days ago, I listened to it this weekend. Mr. Beast was on there, and he's just again, I've listened to him talk about his stuff so many times, and it's just sitting down and learning the game. He spent like 10 years, like figuring out, like spend some time optimizing thumbnails, spend time talking about the title, spend time thinking about the 30-second hook, the first line, the second line, the third line, like so many things about learning what works and what doesn't. And yeah, those are those things that I'm going to figure out to figure out how to make the unconventional mindset as good as it possibly can be. Cause the things that I have now, like you said, here's my thumbnail, here's my intro. Like, this is just like my first go at like, I'm at 1%, there's like, I know I have so much to learn. And I just know that I'm just going to get better as long as I put forth the work to actually want to get better and want to study things. And I think it's going to have to go, it's super cheesy. I'm going to be 100% cheesy here. But if I talk about how I like to think about things, and it's really about getting 1% better. So it's like, how could I make my thumbnails 1% better next week and the week after, and then focus on this 1% better here. So just these small incremental changes, which overall will compound into exceptional growth, right? It's like the James Clear Atomic Habits. If you haven't read that book, a fantastic book of just trying to be a little bit better at those one thing, and then things just compound. He confirmed he's a billionaire, but I mean, just looking at his assets, you knew he was like more than a billionaire for sure. Yeah. 1% better every day. Yeah. And that's it. I mean, that's all we can strive to be. Like you can't, maybe 10% every day would be better, but I mean, that's a little unrealistic, I think. But yeah. Sounds a little cheesy. Some people don't like it when I talk about like that, but like, then that's fine. They're not my people, and that's okay. I mean, you're not going to be, you're not going to gel with every single person, but that's how I try to live my life, and how I'm trying to approach this, and how I want to grow this podcast into a place that I know that it can be, and I know that I have the desire, and hopefully I have the skills and the personality, and I don't know, the right attitude, I don't know, mindset, whatever, to get there. I don't know. I think I'll get there. It's just a matter of putting in the work. Alex, well, yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've started, like, I think I don't know exactly how much. I don't think I got in that long. Like, I ride my bike every morning, and then I listen to something in the morning when I'm riding my bike, and of course throughout the day. But I listened to Hermosi. I think I only got like one bike ride in, so it was probably like half an hour or so in. But yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Yeah, those guys are great. They're all really great. Yeah, it came out recently. Yeah, no. And the one this morning, my wife told me about it because it's some lady that she was telling me about that does stuff. Like, she used to work at, she's like a Secret Service. I can't remember what she does, but anyway, she said it was really good. So I was like, you got to watch it. I'm like, oh, so many things to watch. At least for a podcast, I like to put them on like 1.5 speed, so I can listen to them faster and try to absorb the information as fast as possible. Anyways, all right. So that's all I got, I think, for today. That's where we're at. I think this is a good place to stop and end it here, I guess. Yeah, that one came out today. Yeah, Secret Agent one. But I think she does more than that, and like, she actually helps people with like their state of mind, and like I don't know if it's like not having like a victim mentality. Like, I heard like the clip, that 30-second intro. So I heard that. So I think she's talking about some stuff like that, and she will get into that kind of like personal growth kind of thing. And that's the stuff that I'll just eat that stuff up. So it's pretty good. I love that kind of stuff. All right. So, Brent, thank you so much. Rolando, Stoyan, Bagari, Kevin. I think that's everyone. Did I get everyone? I think I got everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This is awesome. Yeah, I'm not getting manipulated easy, I think. Yeah, hopefully not. Does she talk about that? Yeah, maybe I guess that's about being resilient and being confident in who you are and not being involved in that peer pressure or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Very fascinating. Anyways, we'll both watch it, and then we'll come up with some insights for next week. All right. Yeah, take care. You as well. Have a good one. Everyone, again, thanks for showing up. Keep working away. Keep plugging away. 1% better. We'll all get there. We'll get to the promised land as to where we want our businesses and our lives to be. So take care. Have a good one. And as always, I'll be here again on Monday for a brand new live stream. Until then, take care.